Have you ever heard of a battle where the enemy mocked the invader, saying he would need wings to win? And yet, that invader found a way to conquer the impossible. Welcome to the Siege of the Sogdian Rock, the fourth major battle of Alexander the Great, a battle not won by sheer numbers or brute force, but by daring strategy and relentless ambition. Picture this: towering cliffs, an isolated fortress believed to be impenetrable, and Alexander, fresh from his triumph at Gaugamela, faced with an enemy who dared him to attempt the unthinkable. But if there was one thing history taught us about Alexander, it's that the unthinkable was his specialty. Today, we dive into this thrilling tale of audacity, ingenuity, and conquest in the harsh lands of Central Asia. The year was 327 BC, and Alexander's empire had grown immensely. After his decisive victory over Darius III of Persia at Gaugamela, Alexander continued his campaign eastward, seeking to expand his realm into the farthest corners of the known world. But the further he ventured into Central Asia, the more difficult the resistance became. One such challenge came from a remote, nearly inaccessible fortress, the Sogdian Rock. This natural stronghold was a fortress of immense strategic importance, towering high above the surrounding landscape. Its steep cliffs and remote location made it nearly impossible to siege. The local tribes, led by a chieftain named Audacious, sought refuge there, believing no force on earth, not even Alexander's mighty army, could dislodge them. When Alexander arrived at the base of the rock, Audacious sent a message filled with arrogance. "Even if you had men with wings," he taunted, "you could never take this fortress." It was a boast that would haunt him. Alexander, never one to back down from a challenge, saw this as an opportunity to turn the tables and prove once again why he was considered one of the greatest military minds in history. Realizing a frontal assault was impossible, Alexander devised a bold and unconventional plan. He called for the most daring and skilled of his soldiers, his mountaineers. These were elite climbers, trained to scale the highest cliffs and roughest terrains. His plan: to have them scale the sheer, vertical cliffs of the Sogdian Rock under cover of darkness. It was an idea so audacious that it seemed almost impossible. Equipped with nothing but iron stakes and ropes, 300 mountaineers began their perilous ascent. The cold night air bit at their skin as they climbed inch by inch up the jagged rocks. Many lost their grip and plummeted to their deaths, but those who survived continued on, driven by loyalty to their king and the glory of victory. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, Alexander's climbers reached the summit. From their vantage point high above the fortress, they waved white flags to signal their success. When Audacious and his men looked up and saw Alexander's troops standing victorious atop what they thought was an impenetrable fortress, their confidence shattered. The once defiant chieftain had no choice but to surrender. Alexander had achieved the impossible. By using strategy and fearlessness, he had broken the will of his enemy without a full-scale battle. But the victory wasn't just about conquering a fortress, it had far-reaching consequences. Among the captives was Roxana, the daughter of Audacious, who would later become Alexander's wife. Their union symbolized the merging of Macedonian and local cultures, cementing Alexander's vision of a blended empire. The Sogdian Rock didn't fall because of the weakness of its defenders, nor due to a massive force overwhelming its walls. It fell because Alexander refused to believe in limits. Where others saw impossibility, he saw an opportunity. His ability to adapt, to think creatively, and to inspire his men to achieve the unthinkable is what made him legendary. The Sogdian Rock became another example of how sheer will, coupled with brilliant strategy, can topple even the most daunting of challenges. The Siege of the Sogdian Rock stands as a testament to Alexander's relentless pursuit of greatness. It wasn't the largest or most famous battle of his campaign, but it showcased his genius and his ability to inspire loyalty and bravery in his men. With this victory, Alexander not only expanded his empire, but also solidified his place as a ruler who would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. So, next time you hear the name Alexander the Great, remember, he was a man who made the impossible possible.